Now, elsewhere on this website, you'll see examples of how to prepare a presentation, a quote, how to win that business. But there's little point in winning any business if your customer doesn't pay. What's the best way of checking that they can? Well, maybe to do a credit check. Now, Graham, you were the person that gave the presentation on how to do a presentation and how to win the business, but you've also got experience of credit checking as well. Why bother do it in the first place?
Well, my father used to say, there's no point getting an order if you don't get paid. So it's important that we make sure that we get paid. So we do a simple credit check. And on this website, at thebusiness.com, we have the facility for somebody to just text the company name, the area that they're from, and we'll text them back with a recommended credit rating. That gives them some idea of the person that they're dealing with.
So what information do you get back if I send that text through to you? What do you actually tell me?
Well, you'll get a recommendation from us on the amount of credit that you should be offering that customer. But, it's really important, Blair, to keep on top of that and not just do it take it as it is, which is a snapshot in time. You need to be doing that on a regular basis.
Because people's credit rating changes.
Yeah, exactly. So it may be every 3 months that you do it, and always monitor how much you're spending with them, because you may say to yourself, I'm only going to supply him £5,000 worth of goods or services, and the credit check might say it's good for 10, but you may find in 6 months' time he's spending £50,000, but the credit check's only good for 10.
So how do you work out, if you have a regular customer, or a customer you're supplying goods to regularly, how do you invoice that? Because if their credit rating changes, as most do, your invoicing period should change, should they? Or is that where you just have to take the chance?
No, I would say that try and diarise a time when you can credit check that customer to keep on top of them. It could be at the end of the month or middle of the month or something like that, but really get into the habit, and particularly the guys that are spending a lot of money with you, or even the guys that are giving you the first order really easy, because if the order comes too easy, it's usually a sign that there's something a bit iffy going on there. So do the credit check, keep on top of it.
Cash flow is an issue that I think probably most of us have had problems with over the years in business. How do you keep in touch with that and keep on top of your cash flow with regards to chasing invoices?
Yeah, well, we need to really make sure that when we're invoicing them to the correct address. That's foremost, it's going to the right place. Secondly, make sure that we invoice quickly. Don't leave it for weeks and weeks and then do it all one Sunday afternoon when you've got a bit of time on your hand. We need to be doing it regular. Put a bit of time away every single day or week, depending on what kind of work you're doing, to invoice and make sure it gets out on time, and make sure all the information's there. The order number, the reference, what we're doing, the amount. Make it easy for them.
There will always be times, I guess, where people have said, look, I know your 30-day notice runs out this week, we can't pay you this week, we'll pay you next week. So therefore, it's an obvious extension that they want. They then don't pay next week. Do you immediately go in hard, then solicitor's letter or threats of CCJs, or do you try the softer approach first?
I think, I'm cool with the fact if they say 7 days and we've given them the 7 days and they've reneged on that, then we need to stick to a system that we have in place, and we stick to it rigidly. And we say that it's been put on us not by ourselves, but by the banks, and blame somebody else. But we need to really stick rigidly to it. So they get a 7-day letter, a 14-day letter, a 7-day solicitor's letter. Don't be afraid to follow it through. Don't be afraid to go in and hassle them. It's your money. You'll be getting hassle from the bank anyway for your overdraft, so why not give them the same hassle?
But the main message is always credit check in the first place.
Well, if you credit check, at least then you're safe, and that's exactly what the banks would do.